Hi there. This is a movie and book update. Um, yeah, I found a whole bunch of books again. So that plus a couple of movies that I received in the mail and that I found they warrant a new book movie update. So here we are. Starting off with this book. This is a graphic novel from the 70s, late 70s if I'm not mistaken. 1977, yeah. It is drawn by a graphic artist called Enki, who you might know as Mobius. Um, Not the musician Mobius, obviously, but the comic book artist Mobius. It's a wonderful drawn modern or a science fiction fairy tale kind of thing. Um, it's just, I love his style, I love his art. This is part of a series of just modern fairy tales with a little crazy science fiction edge to it. I'm not going to show everything, but it's wonderfully drawn. I love his style, and when I saw this, it was like $1.50, €1.50. I just had to pick it up. It's an original hardback edition, so I'm glad with this. Translated, it means the unexisting city. I don't know if that is the original American title as well, but the French title is, it is mentioned, it is not, no, it's not mentioned, so I don't know what the French title is. But it's originally a French graphic novel. This was probably even before the graphic novel existed, but anyway, just wanted to show that. Don't really show a lot of comic books and stuff like that, so the movies, let's start with that. This is Stormriders, a Hong Kong action fantasy film. I found this at a Goodwill. I heard different things about it, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it, but I'm gonna give it a shot. I kind of like Hong Kong based action films, so. Next to are movies of the Masters of Cinema series. This time only DVDs, probably because the Masters weren't that good to create an HD print of them. First one is Pigsty. This is directed by Pier Paolo Pasolini, and this is one of his more controversial movies, probably his most controversial movie before he made the movie Salo. If you don't know Salo, just go on Wikipedia, read about it, because it's a pretty damn controversial movie and not for everyone's taste. This is similarly, controversial. Um, Pier Paolo Pasolini, openly gay Italian filmmaker who was a communist. He was an atheist as well. He didn't like church. He didn't like politics. He didn't like all the bourgeois bullshit that was going on, and he fought it in his movie. So it's basically an attack on everything in the world. It's apparently pretty graphic and pretty violent, and there's cannibalism in it. So I will enjoy this. I had a box of his movies, but since Masters of Cinema are releasing his movies separately, I got rid of the box and ordered these. They're a little better quality. This is another Pasolini movie, Hawks and Sparrows. This is pretty much an attack on religion, and it's a fable, but with just mocking religion and taking the piss out of that. It's a strange little film in which these two characters, they encounter a talking bird who guides them through their travels, and it's just strange. The music is by Morricone, which is awesome. I love this movie. It's funny. Uh, it's weird. It's just really good stuff. The last movie I picked up is the Blu-ray, the UK Blu-ray edition of Barbarella. Had to pick this up. I love this movie. It's one of my favorites of the 60s. It's got one of the best soundtracks of one of the movies in the 60s. Nothing special. Worth of extras. It's got a trailer. That's about it. But yeah, I love this. This movie is just so kick-ass. If you haven't seen this movie, check it out. Now on to the books. First book I found was this, Automated Alice by Jeff Noon. I don't know Jeff Noon. He apparently wrote some science fiction novels, and I first thought this was a graphic novel, but as you can see, it's not. It's a modernized take on the Alice in Wonderland theme, where Alice sort of gets trapped in modern day Manchester. It's hard to explain, but it looks interesting. It looks really, really interesting. There's, like the original Alice, there's drawings all over the book. They're really nice drawings. So yeah, this seemed interesting, so I picked it up. Then I picked up a whole bunch of Clive Barker books. Not a big horror fan, but I just couldn't pass up on these books. They're in great shape, and yeah, I'm interested to read them. First one is Cabal, or Cabal. I don't know how you pronounce it. I think Cabal. It was filmed as Nightbreed, and I really enjoyed that movie. It's a weird sort of monster versus serial killer movie. But the book, I'm interested in it a little bit more. Got crazy drawing in the front and crazy drawings all over the place. If I can find them. These are done by Clive Barker, by the way. So I picked this up. Going to enjoy it, hopefully. Had to pick this one up. This is the Hellbound Hard, which was made into Hellraiser. It's a pretty small book. It comes with an extra story called Imagica or Imagica. Interested in that. These were a buck or €1 or €1.50. This is Bharat from 2002, which is more of a fantasy-based story, I guess. And the last one I got by him is Weve World, which I've heard so many good things about. So there were two more that I didn't pick up. If they're there next time, that means next month, I'll pick them up. If not, too bad. But you know, Clive Barker, interesting fellow, interesting movies, interesting books. So let's check them out. Also picked up the 39 Steps by John Buchan. This is the 1960 something edition, 1961 edition. I love the cover. You might know this book because it was turned into a movie by Alfred Hitchcock. It's a thriller, a sort of espionage thriller, and yeah, I love the cover. Just look at that. This is another I picked up based on the cover. Just three ladies in bikinis. It's called Island of Women, and it's by Juan Goytisolo. It's a Spanish novel. Originally, this is the US release, and I have no clue what this is about. I have absolutely no idea, but it looks interesting. Then I picked up two novels by Raymond Chandler. I love Raymond Chandler. I love the whole movement of writers whose books were turned into noir movies, and these, I think at least the first one was turned into a movie. The other one I'm not too sure about. But Lady in the Lake, This was turned into a movie, and if you have seen the movie, you know it's an awesome, awesome film. This is a really, really old edition. I don't know what year it's from, but yeah, this is really old. And that's the reason why I love these. They go for 50 cents, so why not? Come on. The other one is The High Window, another, detective novel. I don't know if this one is featuring Sam Spade, which was one of his characters. That is Raymond Chandler, come on. Also picked up this. This is a Perry Mason novel. Well, not Perry Mason who wrote it. It's featuring the character of Perry Mason. It's called The Case of the Amorous Aunt, and it's written by Earl Stanley Gardner. I have a whole bunch of his books, but never really started reading them. Funny thing is, inside is still the advertisement for other books. So it's in pretty good shape. And again, 50 cents. Picked up this Edgar Wallace novel called Terror Keep. I love the cover, and I love Edgar Wallace, another writer from the early 20th century or late 19th century. This was published in 1927. Originally, this is not that issue. This one is published in 1964, but the book was originally written in 1927. And it's another detective crime story, so that's interesting. Another espionage novel that I picked up based on the cover. I love this cover. This is Smith and Jones by Nicholas Montserrat. I don't know much about it because on the back there's not almost never is there a description of what the book is about. So what you have to do is read the little thing in the beginning, which basically is a part of the book. I don't know. Interesting. Looks interesting, and I'm interested in reading it. And the last one is non-fiction. This was all fiction and crime and horror and whatever. The next one is a non-fiction book called Letters from Mississippi. This is basically about a group of young people who went to Mississippi and helped out with the what does it say here? The civil rights movement. So it tells tales of, things they witnessed, brutality against African Americans and stuff like that. I'm really interested in the whole, civil rights movement, and this book came out in 1965. So it's like at that time, there was still, racism, and it's still there, obviously, but back then it was probably a lot worse. So reading about young people and their fight for the civil rights movement, I'm interested in that. So I picked it up. That's it. That's the books, that's the movies, that's everything that I have to show this time. Hope you enjoyed it. You can leave some comments if you enjoy books as well, and why not show books? Come on. I know this is the vinyl community, but there's more to life than just books, vinyl. Oh well, whatever. Peace.